Hello my dirty little dumplings and welcome back to Brian Abroad. It is currently 5 something in the morning and it's pouring rain out and I'm walking down the street in Tokyo to get a bus to go to Lake Kawaguchiko by Mount Fuji, and it's also supposed to be cloudy when I get there, so there's probably a good chance that A, I'm not gonna even get to see Mount Fuji, and B, this is a huge mistake. But you know what? YOLO! So I'm here at the Kawaguchiko bus station. I got here super early, which is what you're supposed to do. Get here early, beat the crowds, find a good spot by the lake. The only problem is that it is a super snowy day and there's no mountain to be seen. And everyone right now is kind of just like hiding out at the bus station, I think, trying to figure out their next step, and so am I. Originally, I was planning on getting here, jumping on one of the sightseeing buses, getting a good spot. I heard that by the Kawaguchiko Museum of Art, if you go like down one of the streets behind the museum, that's a really good place to view Mount Fuji from. So my plan was to take the bus and go there, take some pictures, walk around a little bit, and then head off to my next destination. But because of the weather, things have changed a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm still going to take the bus to the museum, but I'm actually going to walk around the museum for a while. I have no idea what's there because it wasn't part of my plan. But I did see on the weather that it might clear up at like 11 today. So maybe if I walk around the museum a little bit, which doesn't open until 9:30, I could kill some time, check out some art, and then walk right behind the museum afterwards and hopefully see Mount Fuji today. I'm hoping. Natural living. Next bus stop, number 10. All right, so I just got to the Kawaguchiko Museum of Art. Nobody got off at this stop except me, so I don't know. Hopefully they're open. I do see some people walking over there. Even if I don't get to see Mount Fuji today, it's okay for a couple of reasons. Number one, I got a really good view from the Shinkansen on the way back from Osaka, so I saw the mountain. Second of all, like, this is kind of an adventure. Maybe I'm like a bit masochistic and I like putting myself in situations where I might get stranded in a foreign country. It still feels kind of cool, like I'm in a place I've never been before. Somewhere over there, there's a giant mountain that's actually also a volcano. Can you see it? No, but it's there. That's kind of cool. And I'm totally dependent on like whether or not I catch a certain bus or catch a certain train. And if I miss it, I might have to like sleep under a bush. That's cool, right? And plus, like I said in one of my other videos that I've made so far about Japan, I haven't really seen any snow yet this whole year. So seeing the snow monkeys was really awesome. Being here is really awesome. Trying to talk to you while someone is like power sanding a floor in the background, not as awesome, but you know what? We're doing our best out here. Like, look at the scenery. Oh, it's someone snow blowing. Okay. Oh, it was so nice of them to roll out the soggy rubber carpet for me. I think if you walk around out here behind the museum, there's a path along the river, and that's where maybe you can get a glimpse of Fuji. Before I go into the museum, I want to just peek back here and see if I can see anything. Obviously, it seems pretty doubtful based on the surroundings, but it might be worth a try. I believe the path is down there, but the snow on the path looks pretty deep, and I'm wearing Converse All-Stars that have holes in the side of them, so maybe I can just follow in this other person's footsteps. Clearly, I'm not the first person today to try it. It's kind of funny to think that like right behind me is one of the most famous landmarks in the world and you can't even see that it's there. So I bought a ticket for the museum. It's 800 yen. The museum has like a little cafe area that has an amazing view. It's basically the same view where I just was a second ago. The forecast now says that it won't be clear until maybe 12 and it's about 10 right now. So I'm gonna try to milk this experience for as long as I can. Okay, you guys, so I just left the art museum. It's really small. There are only 2 exhibits and everything is about Fuji. So when you walk in on the right, there's a photo gallery of people who took really great photos of Mount Fuji with their professional cameras. And then on the left side, there is an art gallery with paintings of Mount Fuji. You are not allowed to take photos of any of the artwork except for 2 things. One is like one single painting of Mount Fuji, and the other is a tiny exhibit near the cafe area of all artwork done by local elementary school students. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at most of the time. Some of them seemed like creative interpretations of Godzilla, and one of them was like absolutely Godzilla, or some sort of like beaver, I don't know. And then also with the painted works about Mount Fuji, some of them were old enough that they kind of showed like a little bit about what the life in the area was like back in the day, like people in their traditional clothing and people fishing by the river and buying things by the river and things like that. So that was kind of cool. I tried to kind of like milk the experience as long as I possibly could on the off chance that like it cleared up for even 5 minutes by some miracle and I could be like, wow, look, it's Mount Fuji by Lake Kawaguchiko. I don't think that's gonna happen. So I finally made the realization that you can't travel 2 hours away to hide at an art museum all day and then travel 2 hours back. So I'm back out here in the wild. I am going to probably get on a bus and go back to Kawaguchiko so I can take the train to the Chureito Pagoda, which is the other thing that I wanted to see while I was here. There's also like a really cool street with old shops and power lines everywhere, and you can see Mount Fuji in the background. Well, not today, but that's also like in close proximity to Chureito, so I want to go there. And then it's basically back to the train station so I can catch the train back to Tokyo. Look, we got Thomas and friends. Cute. All right, I just got to Shimoyoshida Station and I am currently walking to the Chureito Pagoda. I will say it's very well signed. As soon as you get off the train, it's like, okay, here's the whole map, here's how to get there, turn right, go through the railroad crossing, turn left, etc. And when you get to a spot where you're like, uh-oh, now what? There'll be another sign that's like, yeah, you're doing it right, just turn left. Everything is pretty well signed in Japan in general. It's pretty easy to get around. It doesn't mean that I haven't made mistakes while I've been here, but if you're slightly more observant, maybe it'll be difficult for you to mess up. This was so much easier than I had anticipated. I'm basically already here. I thought it was going to be a much longer walk. Ah, this looks so super cool. I just stumbled upon a whole little shrine area over here that I almost completely bypassed that looks really beautiful. And also someone's missing imitation crab. I mean, that is good to know. I didn't know that that was a thing here. You will have to walk up a bunch of stairs, just FYI. Although there seems to also be like a winding path here that will probably also take you to the top. Oh, it looks like I have like Farrah Fawcett hair. Don't know what that was. It's okay, we're not in America. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna take a break for a second. Look at the view. Isn't that amazing? Oh, they're fireworks. Okay, that's reassuring. Can you imagine how out of breath I am? How unhealthy can I be? It's like 12 stairs. I'm part of the 12-step program. All right, we now resume our regularly scheduled torture. Oh, wow. That's awesome. I was checking the little informational plaque that's over there. and it was saying how it was actually built to enshrine victims or people who died in wars. So right past the pagoda, there's also an observation deck. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be observing because we can't see Mount Fuji, but let's check it out. Monkeys too. This place is a zoo. Here's the view from the little top of the hill here on the way to the observation deck. It is quite beautiful. You just kind of have to like use your imagination and imagine that there's a giant mountain right behind it. Isn't that cool? All right, I'm gonna head down so that I can check out that last area that I wanted to see before I get back on the train today. It's called Honcho Street, and it's about a 20-minute walk from here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the path seems pretty straightforward. I think I'm doing pretty good on time. The fewer people and the easier access to buses and trains is kind of like a huge stress reliever. This is the part of the trip that I was actually the most nervous about doing by myself. I was the most intimidated by it because I read a lot of posts online when I was doing my research, and people were like, it was so crowded. I paid for this bus pass so I could take all the sightseeing buses as much as I want, and I only took like one bus the whole time I was there because there's just so many people and they're always full, and I had to walk everywhere, and like a lot of things are not that close, so I don't even know how that's possible. I have a train back, and all the other trains were sold out. That's the only one I could find when I bought tickets like almost a month ago probably. And so in my head I'm just thinking like I'm gonna end up on top of a pagoda somewhere, and I'm gonna go like, all right, time for me to get the bus, and I'm not gonna be able to get it, and then I'm gonna start walking, but I'll never make it in time to the station, and then how the heck am I gonna get home? I'm supposed to be at Tokyo Disney tomorrow. So far so good though. I love this little like neighborhood that I'm walking through. It's so quiet here. I feel like I haven't heard like quiet like this in a really long time. There's a little, I think, Buddhist temple over here too called Gekkoji Temple that I'm passing on my way to Honcho Street, which looks really cool. Oh, I see a duck. Hello. I am not sure what this is. I don't know if this is just somebody's house or what, but my God, it is amazing. The big thing is for people to try to get into the middle of the road and take pictures like these people are doing. Because usually Mount Fuji would be behind us, but it's not, but people are still doing it anyway. Maybe they're like really good at Photoshop, I don't know. If you do come here and decide that you want a touristy photo standing in the street with the mountain behind you, be careful because it is a very active street with two-way traffic. You don't want this to be your last vacation, so just use common sense. Don't get hit by a car, okay? Now, Shimoyoshida Station is only 10 minutes away from here, actually, if you just walk down the hill. So I'm gonna keep walking and just see what I come across. There's a little cafe over here, it looks like, that has lunch and souvenirs. It looks like there's some more restaurants right down there. There's also like a creepy sailor schoolgirl outfit store. Come on, we all knew this girl back in high school. And the reason why is she's me. I was that girl in high school. Maybe I'm like still kind of that girl now. Oh, the world. This looks cool. Chicken thigh grilled on Mount Fuji lava stone. I'm gonna keep walking a bit and just see like what else I can find on the way to the station before I make any food decisions. Maybe I'll head back there. I think it's called like Restaurant Roku. I just passed by another cafe called Fab Cafe Fuji, but they only had like 4 meals on the menu and it wasn't really anything that I wanted to eat, so the search continues. So I just stumbled across the entrance to a whole shrine over here. It is the Fujisan Shimomiya Omuro Sengen Jinja. The shrine is known for its goddess Konohana Sakya Hime, who is the goddess of Mount Fuji and sakura trees. Not to sound totally ignorant, but unfortunately I have no idea what event I just stumbled into. I honestly thought they were playing fake audio, and I'm still like 50% sure that they were. Like, there was a lot of like children's voices and they're all screaming. I didn't see any children screaming, but I did see a group of women all dressed up in traditional clothing throwing boxes full of oranges. Sorry, that sounds like they were throwing boxes of oranges at people. They were throwing oranges from boxes into a crowd of people who were bagging them up in fistfuls and carrying them home. And then everything just like suddenly ended and the women left the stage and they started collecting all the boxes. Again, I don't know what it was. I'm not sure if it has something to do with like some sort of tradition related to Fuji or if there's some sort of event. No idea, but that's what I saw. All right, we're making our way downtown like Vanessa Carlton, back to Shimoyoshida. Still no food yet. You guys, something really embarrassing happened. I was filming and I saw a black mask on the floor and I checked my pockets and I couldn't find my mask. So I picked it up and I put it in my pocket and then I found my mask in my other pocket. And so I touched someone else's mask and now it's in my pocket. It's really hard to find trash cans in Japan. And so I'm just walking around with someone else's mask, used mask in my pocket for the foreseeable future. Love that for me. So there's the station actually right down there. I came down here to see if there was like a restaurant, but all I'm seeing is a gas station and a knife store. Honestly, convenience store food all day, every day. I just went to Lawson's and got a chicken teriyaki and egg sandwich. I'm not gonna eat it just yet. It's more like my emergency backup sandwich because I still have like 2 hours before my train. So if I do find like a real restaurant, then I can eat there. I'm not going back to that lava chicken place. It's like 5 miles away now at this point. But if I find something else, I can eat. I have plenty of time. And there's also restaurants back at Kawaguchiko station, which is where I'm headed. All right, so I went for a little walk from Kawaguchiko station. The food situation here seems pretty bleak. I don't know if it's just because it's Sunday or if it's because the weather and they knew that there wouldn't be as many tourists here as there normally are, but a lot of places are closed. Some places are closed on Sundays, period. And then like all the other places are mostly just selling like, I don't know, like the same stuff, like matcha drinks and like cheap coffee. Like everything just feels very like mass produced and touristy. So I'm probably not gonna end up eating here. I'm probably gonna end up eating my chicken teriyaki and egg sandwich from Lawson's and heading back to the train station again. Also, there are a lot of hair places here. Do many people come to Fuji to get a haircut? Like, for real, I passed a lot of hair places today. So since I'm not planning to eat here and all I'm gonna do after this is head out on the train back to Tokyo, I'm probably gonna end the video here. So Fuji-less Fuji trip, final thoughts. To be honest, I had a great time just like walking around and seeing the snow and the sights and talking to myself because I'm really good at talking to myself. Like, I probably should get it checked. But anyway, I had fun. I don't think that it's totally worthless to come here just because it's not a clear day. I think there's all kinds of like cool little houses and architecture everywhere. The transportation is really good and convenient. Also online, I got a lot of conflicting information while I was doing research for this trip. Like, you cannot use your IC card. You can use your IC card. You can definitely use your IC card. You can use your IC card for the sightseeing buses. You can use your IC card for the local train. You just can't use your IC card for like the train all the way back to Tokyo. Other than that though, like for the local sightseeing stuff, you can do it. It's totally fine. There are little cafes everywhere if you want to get a quick coffee or matcha. It's just not what I'm personally like looking for right now. Chureito Pagoda was beautiful, especially in the snow. I love that contrast between like the red architecture and the white snow everywhere. I think that looks amazing. Lake Kawaguchiko looked amazing, even though I couldn't see Mount Fuji, but the other snowy mountains in the background looked really cool. And I even had fun walking down Honcho Street, even though I didn't buy anything or eat anything there. So I feel like don't cancel your trip just because the weather's not good. I mean, if you have your heart set on Fuji and it would crush you to come here and not see it, maybe cancel and reschedule and do something else so you don't have that disappointment. But my feeling is that you're gonna have that disappointment anyway, right? Like even if you switch to something else, you're still gonna be upset you didn't see Fuji. So just take the L. come here anyway, walk around and enjoy yourself. With that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really enjoyed having you with me while I'm here by myself. If you like this video and you want to keep up with my adventures here in Japan and back home in China, please remember to click that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you get notified when I upload a new video here on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, but honestly, this sandwich is delicious.